YouTube, what's happening? It is Tuesday, April 22nd. We're going to talk about baseball first today. You can see we have our typical 15 games. Everybody and their mama playing like usual. Everybody has pitchers announced except Atlanta for some reason. I don't know why. We'll see as the day goes on what happens there. But we're going to break down every game like we always do. We're going to look through the stats. We're going to look through the props. We're going to look at the weather. We're going to look at everything we need to look at and see if we can find some potential value out there. But first, we got to do what we always got to do every day before we start is we got to recap the day before because people need to see how we did. And this is what we put up yesterday. We took these plays, New York, San Diego, and Milwaukee. Shame on you three, for shame, because they didn't hit. Everybody else hit. The over 8 in Cincy Miami hit. Told you the offenses were popping in that one. Nole had 6 strikeouts. The Braves hit. Barely. They about choked it away, but they still hit. And then the under was a sweat, wasn't it? It was 7-0 in the 7th. And with 2 on, it was 7-0 on second and third. And I thought it was over. Nah, it was good. Under 7.5 hit. So 4-3 day overall. We'll take that. Beautiful day. Anytime today, it's in green. We'll take that. So if you want the plays typed out for every sport, or if you want access to the spreadsheets, you got to go to the HQ right there. Simple as that. So enough of that. We got 15 games. Let's stop wasting time. Let's jump to the first game right now. All right, before we jump into the first game, I'm gonna kind of just roll through the weather and see if anything stands out for us. Okay, so this is from Roto Grinders. They do pretty good, awesome stuff putting out weather, and it makes it look good. So we can see they have a meteorologist. It kind of works out nicely. So New York and Cleveland's our first one. We got wind north at 3. That's nothing. That's not wind to worry about. Miami's a dome. Good stuff there. Detroit blowing out slightly to left field at 5. Not a worry. You want to worry about things kind of like Boston here, right field 11. Once you start getting double-digit wins, is when you kind of want to start worrying. But the temperature's not that warm. Once you get starting in the 80s and 90s, and you start getting this, you're going to get more home runs. The ball carries easier there. So Washington 4 miles an hour is nothing. New York Mets outright to 10.72. Potentially could have a little bit of a boost. Nothing really out there. 2 miles is nothing. 8 at Wrigley going straight out. It is going to be rainy, supposedly. It might even rain. They might even get rained out. Who knows what's going to happen in this one? Look at the weather. And then we got Minnesota going straight out at 6. We got KC going straight up to left field at 6. Houston's a dome. Angels at 6. Arizona's a dome. And San Fran out at 10 maybe. And then 9 for the A's. So that's your weather. Nothing really stands out there. So let's go over to our game line so we can go ahead and jump into the first game. It's going to be New York and Cleveland. Good stuff overall. Let me bring everything up I need to bring up. Good deal. Looks like we got, it's a pick 'em basically with an 8 total. Let's look over at the who is pitching. Today is going to be Will Warren and Tana Abibi. Abibi. You can look at that there. Look at the spreadsheet. Look at the numbers. 7-3 last 10 for both teams. They're both doing good. Cleveland is now the new Nerfy team. 100% they've hit the Nerfy in the last 10 games. They have not scored a run in the first inning in their last 10 games. That's pretty impressive. So, but yet their offense is doing pretty damn good. That's funny how that works, right? Crazy. They're both top 10 in runs. New York's still bad at strikeouts. Cleveland's not. That's your main things to take away from this. Let's go to the props and see if anything's good here. This is Outlier. Link in the pin comment. Click it, sign, get you a week for free. So we have the batters here. We're going to put it on Yankees and Guardians, and we're going to go for the pitcher tab and put that on Yankees Guardians as well. I like to split the batters and pitchers up. Just makes it a lot easier to see. So pitchers, we got Baby and Warren. Let's look at these two matchup, break them down a little bit deeper, shall we? Yankees versus Tanner. They haven't faced much. I'm surprised. Only thing, Volpe has a home run, but there's not much data here. Against righties, you can see how New York has been this year. We got 391 for Grisham, 333, 341, 333, 333, 302. Jesus, that's a lot of threes. That's all. 348. I forgot Judge. How do you forget Judge? Because 348 is below his season average. The red means it's below season average. So, yeah, they do well against righties, I would say. So we flop to the other side with Cleveland versus righties. 1, 2, 2, 9, 3, 5 for Quan. Quan's always going to be up there. 316 for Rocchio. Everybody else is in the 2s. Nothing new. Against Wood Warren, it's Jones is 1 for 1 with the 3 RBI. That's it. That's all they have. So nothing really stands out so far. Both offenses are popping. Both pitchers are kind of and not much data. I do love a total of 8 because 4-4, that's a win. Somebody got to score. So I love that. Let's look at these outs, strikeouts against the Yankees. It's already 5.5. They know. The 2 times you faced them last season, you didn't do that. So not a thing. How many innings are you pitching? You're averaging 5 innings, but look at your innings. Whew, they are all over the damn place. I can't trust that. 6-0-7. You got rocked in 2 of your 4 games this year. You might get okay. I'm leaning over all of a sudden. I'm just leaning over. You're struggling, good sir. How Will Warren doing? Good sir, how are you doing? Strikeouts. We're not taking strikeouts against Cleveland. I'm telling you right now, there's your outs, and you've been getting roughed up a little bit too. Look at your innings, 1.2545. What's your earned runs looking like? No, you just left. Why did you leave early in 1.2? Did you get? I think this you got hurt or tweaked something, and they pulled you out of this one. I think that's what this was because you only pitched 1.2. I think you were the one that had that. Hits, you can see the numbers. Walks, yeah, nothing standing out. Let's go to bats. Any bats? Of course, there better be bats standing out with 2 top 10 offenses. Orokio, there he is. Over half HR if you want to take that. Judge to get a hit is 2. You can get a 200 out there. That's actually not bad for Judge to get 1 hit. Hell, you probably get Judge strikeout on her too, or Judge walk. Goldie, Jose. I mean, there's a lot. Goldie's doing pretty good overall. He's good. We don't look at the 60s in the last 5 because that's just 60 is 3 out of 5. In baseball, that's amazing. But for me, I like 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. And then I like double green. So like Gabriel here would be good. Jose is always a good one. Cabrera's a good one. Other than that, I mean, Zanardo down here to 100, maybe. But there's options here. But for me personally, I'm going to take the over of 8 because I'm going to go back to the sheet. And I see both top 10 offenses with runs, both hitting the ball well, both getting hits, both getting extra base hits. I like that stuff. I'm taking the over of 8 next. Okay, so now that you see how we roll through each game, I'm going to roll through faster because I'm going to start going through each game and pre-warming or preheating each one, basically looking at everything first and deciding what we don't need to look at. So for this one, I mean, it's kind of game, but let me show you what I'm talking about. So you see the odds here. This game is going to be San Diego, Detroit. We're looking at this one. It's going to be a pick 'em with a 7.5. Cool. I'll always show you the pitcher. I'll show you who's throwing the ball. Obviously, that matters. Pavetta versus Flaherty, that matters. I always show you the spreadsheet, so we can always see the numbers. But we're not going to go too deep into some of the numbers on like the props because some of them just don't matter because we're just not that deep into it. So you can see the numbers here. Nothing really stands out. I mean, kind of leans San Diego just a little bit on the offense, but second in strikeouts, 14. There's no strikeout props to worry about here. Nothing scares me. Detroit's is average across the board. They were worse. They're getting better. So it means they're trending upward. And San Diego is still, if anything, they're trending probably downward a little bit. So yeah, we go over to the props. We look at the numbers. We do the breakdown. We got Pavetta versus Detroit. There's our history right here. So we can see things. We got Torque at 400. We got 235, but only 17 at bats. 286 and 7, 2 for 3. Yeah, there's nothing that stands out. Against righties, this is how Detroit is this season. You can see 346, 313. That's about 318 up here. Those are your numbers overall. So we flip to the other side. We go San Diego versus righties. 400 for Tatis because Tatis is still crazy. He went down to 400. 333, 358, 315. Yeah, they're still playing great against righties and against Flaherty. 4 for 6 with a home run and 2.2 for Tatis. I might have to go Tatis. And 429 for Louis, who got rocked. Yeah, so let's look at, then we got the pitchers. Let me show everything real quick. There's his earned runs. Here's his strikeouts. We're not taking any of this, but I will show you as much as I can that you need to see. There's that. Pitching outs is EV play. Ew, that's disgusting. That is ugly. We don't like that. Outs all over the damn place. We want consistency in our pitching outs. There's a few pitchers I love their outs, like Skeens. I love Skeens pitching outs when I can get it. I will take Skeens outs over strikeouts every day because dude is going to be consistently 6 innings unless something happens. So here's your batting props. Torque hit. I'm already leaning Torque hit pretty hard, but now Tatis is doing pretty good too. 2.5 HR is plus 1.5. He has been doing pretty damn well. Him to get an RBI is 80%. Yeah, I might actually go this plus. I might roll the dice a little bit for this juicy little plus 115 because dude has been averaging 3.7 in the last 10 over a 2.5, which is nice. We would like an extra one, so we went at least 3.5. We got that here with our average. And we also know that we have our actual good history versus Flaherty, which is down here. 667, 1, 2.1. And remember, he's batting 460 at bats on the season. So yeah, that's my play. That's my play. I'm taking Tatis. I know it's 2.5, but I'm going to risk it for the juice. I think, yeah, if he gets it, I think he gets it pretty easily. So give me Tatis over 2.5 HR next. Game 3, Cincinnati, Miami. I want you to say this word with me. Offense. Yes, offense. What do you mean? Well, let me show you. It's 8.5 with basically a Cincy with a slight favorite. We look over at the schedule and we see it's going to be Nick Martinez and Edward Cabrera. Cool, right? Remember that word offense? Here, this is why. Look at the numbers, Mason. This is what they mean. 1v2, 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 1v3, 2v1, 2v1. It's a lot of numbers, a lot of green on this board. Yeah, man, that's a lot. That just tells you where they are. You can see how well they're doing in the last 10. They are both crushing the ball. Miami's going to be a top offense all season, probably, is what it looks like. 22 games in, they're still here. Their pitching sucks. We know this. Cincy is just an emotional roller coaster. If you're a Cincy fan, I am sorry, because you're probably on blood pressure medicine, because damn, they are crazy. So they either pop off for 15, 22 runs, or they go 0 for 1, lose 0-1 3 games in a row. It's weird. Cincy's wild. So you can't say it's boring. Because it demonstrates that. So go to props. Let me show you the pictures. Let's go. Cabrera versus Reds. Look at all that green history. Not much data, but it's all green data, that's good. And we see home run, home run, home run. And then we go against righties, since he's been doing 429 for Hayes, 467 for Marte, 356, 262. Yeah, you get the idea. We go to Miami, flip it around against righties, 327, 333, 318. Yeah, they're better against lefties. That's what the scary part is. They're better against lefties. And then against Nick Martinez, we have very little data, but still data nonetheless. So you have options here. What I'm going to do is either take the over 8.5, or I'm going to take over of something. We're taking an over of this. Probably earned runs. You've been burned. You've been got a few times. You done got. So let's look at strikeouts, hits. Neither team, they're both average on strikeouts, so we don't want to look at strikeout props. We want to look at points. Points, please. So let's look at the pitchers. Nick Hole, 3-4, 3-4. That ain't going to get it done now, is it? You got two pitchers that have been prone to give up runs. Now, statistically, they should do what they do. That's their average. Their averages. Now, watch one of them come out and pitch a damn no-hitter. That's about how it works around here sometimes. But if we fall within our averages, this game should easily go over 8.5, I'm believing, based on the two starting pitchers. And we know bullpens suck. They just do. There's no such thing as a good bullpen. I'm sorry. There's just not. Bullpens have blown. Remember last year, every bullpen was blowing games. Like Cleveland and Detroit were like the two best bullpens, and they were still blowing games. And it's like, come on, guys. It ain't that deep. But yeah, here's your bat props. You want somebody here, just reach your hand in and pick one out the pot. You can pick anyone you want. You're probably going to hit, because these damn dudes are on fire. Pick one. It doesn't matter. I'm taking over 8.5. That's my personal play here for the sheet. I just think both pitchers are kind of both offenses. If you don't remember, what's the word? Offense. Yes. There we go. Lots of offense. Next. All right, next up, we got Baltimore and Washington. And we can see down here, it is Baltimore 132 with a 9 total. Let's look at who's throwing the ball. We got Dan Krispy Kremer versus Mitchell Parker. Here we go. And we come over here and look at the numbers. Offense is not good. Offense is not the word for this game, because you see the numbers. They are not that good. Runs decent. Batting not good. Hits not good. Washington don't know what a double is, apparently. And number one strikeouts out. You ain't striking Washington out. Good luck. They're averaging 5.8 entire game, which is sick. That is impressive. Then 8.2. So I don't like anything so far. Nothing so far. Let's go to props. Anything? We got to look at the pitchers. We got Parker versus a Baltimore history. You can see all the red. Look at all the red, except for that 2 for 3 for Henderson with a home run. That's it. Henderson might be a play if you want to play this. Against lefties, you can see how Baltimore is done. We have a 294 for Mountcastle. We got Urias at 444, 333 for Mullins, and that's about it. Everybody else is kind of just there. Just not good. Against Washington versus righties, we got nothing. Not much. 362 for Lau, and that's it. That's against Krispy Kreme here. We got 222, 400, nothing. Strikeouts for Parker versus that 4.5. Has he faced Baltimore? He did last season and had 3 in a game. That doesn't help us out much. Hits, earned runs, walks, outs. You have to go down. And that's all. What's your last 10 looking like? Outs, fairly consistent. You got the 6 innings. Walks the last few. Okay. Earned runs, pretty good. I can't complain. I would love that. You want a pitcher that can do that. That's pretty nice. Your 4 games, giving up a total of 5 runs, but have 1 game with only 3, and you still win. Good stuff. Bats, there's not much to choose from. So to me, I don't see Gunner as one of these options, so I'm not touching it. So for me personally, I don't love anything in this game, so we're going to do the smart thing, which is pass. Move to the next game. All right, next up is Seattle and Boston. Boston, the holidays are over. Get back to work. And today we have 124 Boston with a 9 total. Let me show you who ESPN thinks is pitching. They think it's Bryce Miller and Bello. but I don't have any props for Bryce Miller, so it's not popping up on my end on Outlier. So and Outlier seems to be pretty consistent with showing me who's going to pitch because they go based on the books. So who's wrong and who's right? We'll see. Seattle and Boston. Here's our sheet. You can see a lot of green and yellow. We don't like green and yellow. We like green and red. That's what we want to see. We want vast differences. That is too close to being just the same. We don't like that. So nothing standing out. I have Bello. I have this. I click Seattle all day. Nothing pops up. I click Boston. I have Bello. So we can look at that. So we'll go Seattle versus Bello. I'll show you what I can. And you can see not the best. Nothing stands out. Cal's 375, but that's was that 3 for 8? That ain't good, but still. Against righties, you can see there's a couple 300s. Nothing true. Oh, yeah, there's a couple 300s and nothing else stands out here. So, and I can't look at Seattle because if I click on Boston, I have no pitchers. So there's your Boston numbers for the whole season. I didn't like this game anyways because I told you there's nothing standing out. But look at the bats. We got some Cal. If we want to do some Cal plays, you get hits, you got runs, RBIs, HRR up here. You could take that if you wanted to. JP if you wanted to. It's leaning Seattle mainly because of the sheets here. So, but I need a pitcher for the other side too before I decide taking over. I don't like this game. I'm going to pass next. All right, Philadelphia and the Mets we have next, and we currently have Philly as a 135 favorite on the road with an 8 total. Pitchers today are going to be Chris Sanchez and Griffin Canning. We look over at the split-edge sheets, and we can see a lot of green. That helps us out for overs, but that's it. No matchup, green versus red. So all green over. If it was all red, unders. That's how it seems to work around here. We're at an 8, 11, 8 over under. I love those. So we could be taking it over right now based on, they're averaging 9.6 runs last 10. The bats are doing great. They're getting extra base hits. Yeah, everything's looking good so far for an over. Let's go look at the pitchers. We have Chris Sanchez versus the Mets. Here's history: 222 and 18 at bats, 333. We do have a home run here. Marte is 364 with a homer with a 1.1 OPS. 308, 286, not bad numbers. Against lefties, the Mets, 250, 375. There's Lindor, you suck. Against, Viento's even worse. 0 for 13, 1 for 14, 1 for 12 for Marte. Damn. Taylor's 1 for 6. Wow. Soto's doing great. Soto loves him a lefty. He don't care. He's like, I'm good. Let's go to the other side. See, Philly against righties, 288. 500 for Sosa, 328, 333, 333. Against Griffin Canning, not much data on here. Okay, cool. The Mets look like some of them absolutely struggle with lefties. Okay, that's concerning. If anything, I want to take maybe Soto for a play. Let's look at the... Oh, man, we got a lot of stuff to choose from on here, too. But remember all them we just saw? I don't know. Can I take Soto? Is Soto on here anywhere? Man, I got to dig for Soto, don't I? Oh, man, I do. I don't want to dig that far down. Soto's 60-50 on HR. Oh, man. I don't know about all that. That's a lot of digging to get there. Who else popped off on here against lefties? Polar Bears 375 with a home run and a 1.2. I don't know. I think I still want to take the over. Isn't this one of the weather games that the wind might be kind of blowing out a little bit for the Mets? Let me look again. Go back up. Yeah. Remember the weather is going to be out 10 miles an hour and going that way. So we might have a little bit of help from the Mother Nature. So I'm going to risk it for the over. Let me go back and show you the props for the pitches real quick, just because I know you want to see this stuff. Strikeouts, hits, walks, outs. You see nothing's really standing out. Same here. Outs. Very strikeouts. Neither team's good. You don't want to take strikeout props because either one of these teams, you just don't want to. You could hit, but it's going to be a sweat, so why do it? We're going to take the over of 8 and just move on to the next game. Next. All right, next up we got St. Louis and Atlanta. We still don't have a pitcher for Atlanta, which is cool, whatever. But somehow the Braves are favored, and there's an 8.5, even though we don't know who's throwing the ball. Love how they can do that. Let's look over at who is going to be pitching, though. Palante is going out there for St. Louis. I did see on Twitter from a college football analyst who happens to be a very big Braves fan that they're most likely going bullpen today. That's why it's undecided right now. So if that's the case, good, cool, whatever. We go to the sheets. Let's look at the numbers. We see nothing that I really want to do. Nerfy champ, still them and Cleveland tied for the throne. I think St. Louis has it, though. They still haven't hit it. They're on like a 15-game streak now of hitting the Nerfy, of them themselves not scoring in the first inning. It's kind of impressive. So only thing I want to look at here is Braves strikeouts. I want to see how Palante is versus strikeouts. That might be the one play we can go with. So let's pop over here. Let's grab 3.5. Why do I feel like I took Palante last year and he got a 0? I'm getting a weird feeling I did that last year. Did you get a 0 inning game? No, you didn't, but you averaged 4.4 last season. Not bad. How are you doing this season so far? 3.642. Now, Braves are really good for strikeouts. They're averaging 9.2 in the last 10. That's pretty nice. If you can take advantage of that, your last 10, you're averaging 4.4. You only need 4. I think I got to go for it. It's only 4 strikeouts. You should be able to do that. Yeah, I don't need you to get 7 or 8. Just get 4. How hard is that? Let's see. Bats, there ain't nothing. There ain't nothing to do here. So, yeah, we're going to go Palante, 3.5 strike. Oh, yeah, let's do the matchup because we actually can do that here. Braves versus Palante. Oh, we got a little bit of green. Look at the green. Now, this is literally not much data, so this is kind of hard to extrapolate what we want to do here against righties, how the Braves been doing. 327 and a 313. Everything else in the 2s. Nah, average, nothing too crazy. We've seen better, we've seen worse. So I'm gonna go Palante over 3. They might just drop 7 runs on him too. But hey, I'm gonna find out if Palante can get me straight. Yeah, this is a test. If he don't do it, he's gonna get banned. I'm gonna tell you real quick. So over 3.5 Ks. If you can't get 4 strikeouts against the Braves at 9.2 a game, you are not a good strikeout pitcher, sir. So yeah, take that next. Okay, I had to go take some Pepto before we do this game because this game is just causing indigestion. This game is disgusting. It's ugly. It's nasty. It's Colorado and Kansas City. That's what it is. Oh my God, we got to do this one, don't we? KC's a 215 favor over Rado with an 8.5. Oh, who's pitching today? Is going to be Feltner versus Bubic. Bubic. Okay, cool. Look at the spreadsheet. Look at the numbers. This is like not good. Look at the numbers. They're so red. So red. We're not in Colorado either. What's the total? 8.5 under. That's what my first thought is. You both can't hit the ball. You're worse than Rado. Buck 96, 201. Just look at your OPSs. They're at 595. How are you so bad? You're barely getting 6 hits a game. You both can't hit home runs. That's not a thing. RBIs down you're going to break out eventually. That's how baseball works. You don't just stay down here forever. You're eventually going to have a breakout, then kind of hover, then go back to your average. But I mean, hell, what if this is your average? Can it get worse? I don't think it can get worse, can it? I don't know. So, oh man, let's go to props. I don't know. Under. Under. Why would I take anything else? Under. Let's see. Bubic versus Colorado. 3 for 4, the home run for Farmer. All right, cool. Against lefties. How do they do? We got a 400 for Farmer. We got a 304 for Goodman. We got a bunch of trash surrounding these two because everybody else sucks against lefties. And then we got a 455 for Doyle. Everybody else, maybe the 300 for Bouchard. You're either kind of good or you're just absolute dog shit against lefties for Colorado. That's crazy. And we go to the other side, righties, KC. The numbers are not going to be good for anybody. They have 1 300 and the dude doesn't play. He has 9 at bats. Yeah. Against Feltner, under. Just don't know what to tell you. Here's the bat. See, look, there's one thing. It's Hunter Goodman to get a hit. Everything else is yellow. Bruh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Strikeouts. Oh, Colorado. Oh, Colorado is last in strikeouts. Don't forget that. Don't forget. Oh, don't overlook this. You see these 3 numbers right there? That is Rado's numbers on the season. 2025, 11.4. Away, 11.5. Last 10, 11.3. They love to swing and miss. Just something about it makes them feel warm and fuzzy. I don't know. Feltner, why are we doing this? No, we don't care about that. I want hits, earn runs. You gave up 5 to the Dodgers. You were good for a couple games before that, but and then we got Bubic, earn runs, 3, 4, 0, 0. You were doing kind of good, but now I expect both. I expect both of you to pitch no hitters. That's what I expect. I'm taking the under 8.5. I said it 6 times. I can't take it. I gotta do it. Under 8.5. Man, look at the numbers. They're so bad. Next. Okay, next up is Dodgers and Cubs. Why do I feel like these teams have played 17 times already? I know they played in Japan for a couple of games, and I know they played again when they got back for a few games, a series. Now they're playing another series. We're in the first month. Pump the brakes, MLB. Chill. We got till like September. Like, spread it out a little bit. No, they want like get it all in now. All right, whatever. Dodgers slight favorite, 8.5. Cool. Who's throwing the ball today? It's going to be Dustin May versus Shota. Yeah, good stuff. One team's doing good, one team's not. But they're both, the one that's not's better in the records because they have way better pitching. Because the Cubs pitching has kind of been the reason why they're losing shootouts. And I mean, your offense can only do so much if your pitchers don't help out. It's a team effort here. So just like here, their bats are not carrying, but their pitchers are carrying. So they're doing enough. Them 3.7 runs are getting them in. That's all they got to do. So, oh man, let's go look at the stuff over here. We got Shota vs. Doyas. When we see the history, hell, it's all this year mainly. So you can see everything. We got a home run. Edmonds got 2 home runs off the man with 5 at bats with a 2. I might just have to go Edmund here. Back to Edmund. Edmund HRR, is that a play we can go back to? It worked to start the season off. It took it both games in Japan. It worked out. Well, not both games. I did take both games in Japan. Hernandez, 429, 3 on the season against lefties. Everyone else is red. Yeah, Otani's a little bit of green, but everyone else is red. They don't do well against lefties, and now they're not doing well anyways. I feel bad. Let's swap Cubs against Dustin May. Not much. There's no data here. Against righties, all the Cubs are good against everybody right now. 429, 429 and 28 at bats. That's pretty impressive. 319 and 72 at bats. 300, 271, 309. Yeah, the Cubs are better offensively. It's no question. It's in Chicago. The weather is not an issue here today, right? This is the one that is potentially rained out. Yeah, remember the weather is. Yeah, the wind looks like this, but that looks like that, and they're saying it's probably going to be raining at the start of the game. So we might get postponed. We might get pushed to tomorrow. Who knows? So got to be ready for that. So, all right, let's look at the outs and everything. Shoot, hit, strikeouts. Both teams are good at strikeouts. We don't really care about that. Hits, earned runs, walks. Yeah. May. Oh, everything dropped down here. Let's see. Strikeouts. Yeah, he's kind of a strikeout dude. Not crazy, though. No. Earned runs, walks. No. Bats is where it's at. Wait, I'm still in Colorado. I was like, whoa, where are my bats? Yeah, I was about to get concerned real quick. I can't. No, we don't need to look at that game no more. Only this, huh? I'm kind of shocked. You got like P. Crow, you got Ian, you got Bush. I wouldn't even take Bush. Bush, well, you take Bush hits maybe. But P. Crow, it's all just a hit. Everything else is kind of, are the Cubs slowly dying off? They might be. They might be cooling off a little bit. They very well could be. So for this one, Dodgers are 10th in strikeouts. I don't want to touch that. We don't want to take the bats, really. I do like the Cubs in general, so I think I'm just going to go Cubs money line. Even though they're plus 108. We're going to fade the whole Shota versus... We're going to fade the Dodgers against Shota. No, against lefties. Sorry, against lefties. We're going to go with this number. These numbers. This is their season numbers against lefty. They have not been good. Unless your name is Hernandez. Even Edmonds 207 on the season. 429, 286 is the only 2 good ones. Everybody else is bad. And maybe Smith. But we're going to fade this. We're going to go Cubs at home money line at plus 108 next. All right, White Sox and Twins. And oh, another one of these, huh? Okay. Wherefore art thou would be? There it is. 245 from Minnesota with an 8.5. Okay, cool. Who's throwing the ball today? That matters. Davis, Martin, and Braley. Oh, the batter is going out there. Spreadsheet wise, a lot of red. More red. Not as much red as the Rado Royals game, but man, it's right there with it. It's just, it's so much red. Makes me want to dip my fries in it. That is a lot of red. Oh man, props. I can't keep looking at all that red. That is saddening. Let's look at some pictures. Odebatter versus Davis Martin. Okay. Matchup. Odebatter versus, there we go. Washington. I keep saying Washington today. Why do I keep saying Washington? I don't know why. Let's see. Vaughn, 2-4, 250. That's actually impressive. Everybody else is kind of just righties. You can see how Chicago has done against other righties so far. Let's see. And nothing's truly standing out here. It's Chicago. What do you expect? Minnesota, we go look at their righties, how they do. A lot of green. Is it good green is the question. 300, 375, and that's about it. We have a couple threes. Everybody else is 2s or 1s, which tells me they are terrible against lefties. So, and then Davis Martin history, nothing stands out here. So we look at the props. The numbers are garbage. I don't trust either side. Under is the play, but do we trust Bailey and Davis to keep us under is the question. Let's go straight to the earned runs. 4-1 head-to-head. You gave up 4 to Minnesota last season. How did you do last season? In the 3 times you faced the White Sox, they whooped your ass. 4-3-2. How? What? Well, that makes me immediately not want to take it under, and it kind of makes me want to take Chicago. What? How do you suck against the White Sox? I thought your numbers were not that bad. Well, I guess when Vaughn has 2 home runs and 4 RBIs, there's your other RBIs, and Yeah, okay, I can see it. All right, let's go to bats. I'm not feeling anything in this game. You got one bat, you got Sosa, and I'm not loving Sosa today. No, so we're just gonna leave all that alone. We're gonna pass next. All right, Toronto and Houston, they hit that beautiful under 7 for us. Thanks, Toronto. Houston about gave me a heart attack with them 7 runs they scored yesterday, but hey, they did it. Win's a win. We'll take it. So today we are sitting at a pick 'em with an 8 total again, or yeah, we had 7.5 yesterday. Today is 8. Today, the pitchers are going to be, let me scroll down so you can see everybody, is going to be Chris Bassett versus Blanco. Nice. Let's go to the sheet. It was all yellow. It was all it was. Everything's average. Mid, 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 mid. They don't get triples. That's just mid. So I don't like an over. I don't like an under. Let's go look at our pitchers to see what stands out. Blanco, we know is pretty good. Bassett, I think is pretty good. I can't remember about Bassett too much. Blanco walks a lot of people. That's the only thing I remember about Blanco. I took his walk prop a few times last year. So how Toronto is 17th and walks at 3 a game right now. You're averaging 3, 2.6. That could be a play. Believe it or not, could be a play. I don't love it, but you never know. Let's look at the numbers here. History for Toronto versus Blanco. A lot of zeros. Looks like he's had some success, except for Bo. Bo got a hold of 1. That's it. Against righties, you can see how Toronto's been doing. 300, 321, 308. Not much. Houston versus righties. 306, 304, 265, 264. Against Bassett. 420. Whoa, Alvarez. 421 with 5 home runs and 19 at bats on a 1.7. Huh? Remember I said earlier it was one of those I wanted one of those pop ups like a 500 that makes you go, huh? There's one. It ain't 500, but damn, 5 home runs and 19 at bats. That man has hit a home run in basically every game on average. That's every 4 at bats he's hitting a home run against this man. That is correct. That's our play. Let's not even look at the rest. Let's stop wasting time. I'm not wasting my time or yours. We're going right to Jordan. Where is you at, good sir? There you are. I found you. Found you. And we want HR. We're just going straight HR. I don't care what this has done. If you're that good against somebody historically, there's something about him you really like. So let me make sure it's the right person. Yeah. 23 play appearances, 421 average, 478 OBP, 8 hits, 5 of them went yard, 11 RBIs with a 17.4 K. I like that. What's the heat map looking like? Against Bassett, you can kind of see. Yeah, that's my play. I'm not looking at anything else. We're taking Jordan over. Let me show you the rest, though. I'm not going to be like that. That's my play, but I'll show you everything else. Against righties, you can see the numbers. Cool. Let me show you Blanco, strikeouts, hits, earned runs, outs. Not taking any of that. Obviously, I got my play. I know what I'm taking. Now, Bassett's turned to Bassett's striking out dudes like crazy recently, except he did hit the Boston strikeouts, which is kind of odd because Boston's one of those teams that strikes out a ton. So, yeah, sometimes matchups just don't work for you. Hits, earned runs. Damn, he's been good at earned runs too. Like, dude is cooking this season. Like, might need to throw a little sprinkle on him for potential potential Cy Young information. See if you can get a ticket that can grow. He can start getting some love. He keeps on doing things like this. You never know. You never know. And then yeah, cool. I'm going Alvarez over HR next. Didn't I just tell you all I'm tired of seeing all these red offenses? Well, I got 2 more for you. Pittsburgh and the Angels of all teams. It is Angels minus 196 with an 8.5 total. No, it ain't. Let me show you. Bailey Falter and Jose Siriano. Cool average pitchers. Look at all the damn red. Look at all the red, right? Look at all that. That's too much red. Your averages are low. Your runs are low. Your wins are low. Your Carl wins low. Everything's low. Just can't. No. Let's go over here. Pitchers. Let's see what we got. I already did this. Go away. Falter. Soriano. Let's open them up. Let's dig deep under the hood. Let's see what we got. Soriano versus Pitt. Pretty decent numbers as I figured. There's nothing there for you. Against righties, Pittsburgh, 300, and then a bunch of 2s. Yep, nothing but 2s. Not surprised. We go Angels. Against lefties, they're actually not bad against lefties. So we got a 444 for Paris with 2 home runs and 9 at bats. All right. Okay, Angels, I see you. Against Falter, 429, 455 for Newman, and okay. All right, I see why Angels are the play here. I can see why. If you want to take a play, you're probably going to take Angels. Let me show you the bats real quick. You can see who's doing what. You can see it used to be a longer list, but they're starting to not look good, so they're kind of struggling. So any of those, have fun. And then let me show you the actual pitchers real quick because I'm not playing this. Strikeouts, hits. Angels are 29th in strikeouts at 10.3. So maybe if you want to take a falter strikeout, good luck. I took this, and guess what? I think this dude has 0 one time. I think I took this one. There was a couple pitchers that had 0 when I took their plate. I was like, what? How is that even possible? So 4-5-4-2. Yeah, not the best. Yeah, 2 against Washington makes sense. They don't strike out. All the numbers make sense. And then look over here, Jose Siriano. His outs, very random all over the place. Strikeouts, same. Hits, 10 hits is a lot of hits. And yeah, so nothing there for us. Show you the sheet one more again. You see the numbers. Don't love it. Pass. Next. All right, moving on. Tampa, Arizona. And we got 156 Arizona with 8.5 total. Let's look at who's throwing the ball today. Today is going to be Zach Littell versus Brandon P. Fad. Nice. Nice spreadsheet. Offense galore. See, this is you go from 3 other games with nothing but red, and then we finally get back to a game like Cincy. And the hell Cincy's playing? I forgot all of a sudden. I'm on blank. Miami, where it's all green. You get beautiful stuff like this. So beautiful, beautiful numbers. They both strike out a ton. I just realized that. But still, everything else, they steal bases, they walk, they RB. Yeah, offense. What's the total in this one? What are we looking at? We're sitting on 8.5. Cool. If we have average to below average pitcher, that would be just beautiful. So let's go look at the props, shall we? We have Zach. Let's look at his numbers. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, I'll swap. Do him first. All right, against Arizona, not much data. Not meant, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5. Not much there. Against righties matters more. 237, 379, 358, 396 for Smith. Yeah, they got some dudes with some pop. You can clearly see, especially at the home runs and everything. Swap sides against righties. Tampa, 400 for Aranda, 300, 405 for Misner. We got a couple 400 dudes for Tampa. Against Brandon, one Morel has some history, a bunch of nothing. So, okay, so nothing really stands out here. Strikeout wise, both teams are red on strikeouts. 8.8 for Tampa, 9.2 for Arizona. So if you want to take Zach here from strikeouts, you potentially could, because he's averaging 4.7 in the last 10. The number is 3.5. He could do this, but I mean, he has it 7 a few times. Never faced Arizona though. Hits, earned runs. He has potential to get blown up, which I like. This is why I'm liking the over, because of the bats. Arizona's bats, are pretty hot right now. So walks and outs. Yeah, let's go to the other side. Brandon, go straight to the earned runs. 3-4 to start the season. Then he kind of settled in against Baltimore and Miami. So the fact that he only gave up 1 to Miami's bats is impressive, but I'm still liking the over in this one. And nope. Walks and outs. Yeah. Bats. We can see the bats. We got Corbin Carroll, who's been doing his thing pretty good. Naylor's been doing good. Misner, obviously 400 dude. Who else we got? Pavin Smith, Corbin Carroll again. There's options here. So for me personally, I'm just going to rock with the over 8.5. We're going to trust the numbers. We're going to trust the pitchers to do what they keep doing. Averages keep doing what they're doing. And we move on to the next game. All right, next up, we got Milwaukee and San Fran. San Fran's slight favorite, 134, the 7.5 total. Let's look at who's throwing the ball. It's going to be Quintana versus Jordan Hicks. Good stuff. Spreadsheet, nothing really stands out here except for San Fran being miserable against strikeouts. 9.5 is a lot. They walk a lot, but they also strike out a lot too, which is kind of weird how that happens. But hey, that's the math. That's how it works. Okay, let's look at the pitchers. Props. First thing we see, we got Hicks versus Milwaukee. We don't have much data here against righties for Milwaukee on the whole season. Only one guy is really over 300. 500 doesn't count. You only had 4 at bats. So Frelick, Sal's the only one really there. You're at 300, but eh. Let's see. Flop to the other side. Quintana versus San Fran. No real data here except for Adames. You can see his home run to 1.14 is pretty good overall. Against lefties, though, San Fran's pretty good against lefties as a team. 448, 333, 333, 300, 300. Yeah, or you're just absolute garbage at under 100. Like, what? There is no in between. So, man, okay. So remember, San Fran's terrible strikeouts. So we want to go to Quintana, look at his strikeouts. This is where we are. Can he get 4 strikeouts? He's averaging 4.8. He's facing San Fran. Only problem is he going to get destroyed by the bats? Because if you look at his ERA, he's been good. Like, look at the innings. Look at his ERA. Only the Dodgers got to him, and that was last season. So his 2 games so far, he's given a 1 run. Up till then last season, he was great. I'm going to trust him to get the strikeouts. He only needs 4. And as we saw on the spreadsheet, San Fran is averaging 9.5 in the last 10. They are striking out a lot more than they usually do at home. So That's interesting. So we'll take that. And then that's the play I'm taking, but I'll show you everything else. Hicks, his earned runs are here. Let me show you the props. His earned run is just not good. That's his earned runs. 2.5. He's average. He's 5, 7, 3. Those are his 3 games this year. So you could take Milwaukee overall and just, you could take strikeouts from Milwaukee. You take Milwaukee money line. Milwaukee's plus 120. I might do that anyways, but I think the play I'm going for is going to be Quintana strikeouts. So Quintana over, it's only 3.5 Ks, which is a little concerning why it's so low. But hey, I ain't complaining. I'll take it. Here's your bats. Again, make sure we didn't see nothing there. So nothing standing out. Quintana, 3.5 Ks. Next. Last game, Texas and the A's. And you can't see it. Let me make where you see it. There you go. Currently is A's 130 at home with a 10.5. Why is it 10.5? Well, to the weather we go. Let's find out why. Why? 9 out. Okay. Cool. That's okay. 75 and 9, maybe a little bit, but not. I don't know. Let's look at the spreadsheet a little better. Let's see. Well, actually, we'll get the pictures in a second. Let's look at that. Oh, that's why. Here, pictures. Patrick Corbin versus Beto, whatever. Corbin's pitching. That's a fun one, but he's been pretty good his 2 starts, I believe. He hadn't given up too much. So look at the numbers, 5 and 5, both average. You're the second worst in runs. So why would I ever take it over 10.5? What do they know that I don't? RBI is terrible. Walks terrible. Average decent. Everything else terrible. They're singles merchants currently. And you look at the A's and their numbers, they're doing decent. Let's look at the props. Go look at the pitchers. Oh, let's open them up. Beto versus Texas. A lot of nothing. He's pretty good. Okay. Against righties, Texas has been this. We have a 333, a 444, a 300, 316, and that's it. Everybody else is 2 or lower. So 4 of the team. Okay. We swap sides of the A's against lefties. 462 for Langoliers. 313. 500 doesn't count. 400 counts. 3-7 counts, 294. Yeah, you can see they're pretty decent overall against lefties. Against Patrick Corbin, though, Urias popped off a little bit. Not much data for everybody else. So, okay. Let's look at our walks, strikeouts. Let's scroll down for strikeouts. Is that a 0? That is a 0. Ooh, you struck out nobody. In 5.2 innings, you struck out not a single White Sox. For shame on you. For shame. Hits. That's a lot of hits. Your last season was good, and you kind of start off rough. All right. Earned runs, not bad, though. You give up the hits, but not the runs, which what matters most. You're very consistent on outs, too. Patrick Corbin, yes. 0 against the Cubs. I love that. Hits, not that many. Earned runs, yeah, see, he's been pretty good. 3-1, that's not bad for him. He remember last season? Remember some of these games last season? Yes, you do. If you were here last season, you know we made a lot of money off this man hitting over 2.5 earned runs. It was so nice. Oh, man, oh, man. So, okay, I don't know what I want to take in this one. 10.5 feels like a lot. They know something. Why would they set it at 10.5? That doesn't make any sense. The wind's barely there unless the wind got updated. Let me refresh the wind. Refresh the weather. No, it's the same. So, I'm gonna take the under unless I feel like I'm gonna regret this, but I'm gonna take it under 10. You give me 10.5 when I don't see why it should be 10.5. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like Texas is the second lowest scoring team in the league, and now you're giving me a 10.5 line because the wind's slightly breezy. No. This tells me they can't score. They don't have anything else here that can score. Nothing else tells me they have good offense. Yeah, they hit a couple home runs occasionally. They get a little bit of good on doubles, but no. I'm taking the under 10.5, and we're going to call it right there because I'll find out. I'll pay for it. If I lose, we're going to lose right. We're going to see. I ain't scared. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We have all these games. We got some day games, and then we get a nice gap before the night game. So I will be here tomorrow. I'll make another video like I always do. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate that. It helps the channel. Let me know in the comments what you're playing because I want to see if you have any plays that I might tail because I will tell some of you, and I'll let you know that if they look good. Other than that, let me know if I missed anything. Go check out the HQ if you want the plays typed or access the sheets. And I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday, for some more MLB. Peace.